So, yeah, we can start. So, I guess I can count down? Yes?
Yeah. It's on the right. Yeah. Okay. Whenever you're ready. Ready.
Yeah, alright. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is Halo 3, the third installment in the famous first-person shooter series. Probably like I don't know, one of the more popular first-person shooters of the modern era of video games, I guess. So, the first, I guess, important trick or technique that's going to be used in the run is just a small movement technique. It's called slide jumping. When you jump and then hit a slope, a downward slope, you slide a little bit. And if you jump right when you hit the slope, you can keep that sliding momentum through the air. And it's just like it's a minor time save. It's not that flashy, but it's good to shave off, the half a second, second that could help you get, your world record, I guess. So this is first level, Sierra 117. It's not a very super interesting level. It's just, fun movements. There's a lot of random rocks or just weird slopes you can jump off of. I'm running this on easy because I'm a really big baby and I don't want to die to enemies. I mean, I might still die to enemies, but I'll try to not die, at least embarrassingly, at least. Can we turn down the sound a little bit? It's a little loud. Yeah, thanks. Alright. So, yeah. So this entire level, as I said, is just generally just movement optimization. Like here, just a big slope. Gonna do a crouch jump here, right over here. Just, another very, I guess, common technique in games. Just crouching in midair, pulls your legs up so you can reach a little bit of higher places. So we're approaching the first, I guess, actual real trick of the game. Gonna get past these grunts. Over here. So this game has this really fun thing with in-game cutscenes where, or like during gameplay cutscenes where I missed it. Oh well, that's fine. But yeah, so this is a Cortana moment. Basically, what they do is, you see this weird hallucination thing. I don't actually remember what the story explanation of these cutscenes are, but they slow you down, they slow your movement down. So it's really nice to try to skip as many as possible. What I tried to do there is I tried to stand on the rocks, so I stood above the trigger that triggers those cutscenes. I mean, I kind of fluffed my jump, but
watch yourself. Lost the thruster. Hang on. Get a hold of her.
Just gonna
Negative. We're going down.
And die. That's really fun on easy. Sometimes if there's like a chain explosion, like you'll die even though you're playing on the baby difficulty. There's a lot of weird occasional insta-kills in this game.
We got company, so hustle up.
But this is not Halo 2. You cannot get insta-killed by assassination, so it's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad at times. There are a lot of. I'll point them out to you when I can when I can embarrassingly die from this difficulty.
Hang on. Negative. We're going down.
No chain explosion this time. So I'm not going to get owned. That's good. I tried to do a cone launch here. I didn't really get it. So I tried to do something there, this trick that you will see a lot of in the next level. It's called, you can call it object launching. Basically, it's the idea of just having a random object slam into you at a very high speed, and then you get all that speed and you can go flying very far, which can help you skip, sections of levels. Right there, I just tried to get a lot of speed, to just traverse through the intended route faster, but at times it can save you a lot of time. So So I need to wait here actually because the AI has to go through into this cave. Yeah, there we go. Alright, it has to disappear or else the game will soft lock at the end of this. Or at the in the ending section. This is the final section of this level. It's just have to rescue Sergeant Johnson. You might have seen him disappear into that cave a second ago. I don't know what he did between that disappearance act and now, but somehow he got himself captured. I guess he's a really incompetent sergeant. I mean, he's one of the most important characters throughout this trilogy, but whatever. So, I'm gonna make my way through here. I don't have to kill any of these enemies, but I'm just killing them because they're in my way. And I have to rescue Sergeant Johnson here. There we go. And then now this starts a timer, which will count down for a kind of unspecified amount of time. Because, yeah, we just have to wait on our, I guess, rescue ship to show up. This chief is destroying me. Could get less owned. Okay, there we go. That works. Okay. So now we just kind of have to wait. If we kill enemies, it'll make the ship sometimes show up earlier. It's kind of iffy. The triggers in this game are sometimes a little unclear, I guess. Like, it just seems to kind of, the game sometimes has a mind of its own, determining when stuff will actually show up. I mean, it might have been discovered at this point what the trigger exactly is, but I don't really remember. For me, it's just I'm gonna have to wait until the ship shows up whenever it decides to. Gonna kill these last enemies here. Alright, if I can fit through this window. That should be most of the enemies. Oh, there's still a grunt there. And now we're just gonna have to wait. Alright, there's the Pelican. So the ending trigger of this level is entering that Pelican, and in theory, you can pick up the enter the Pelican like right when it enters by doing something called an equipment jump, where you get a 1 in like 10 chance to pick up a flare from that chieftain that I killed earlier. He didn't drop at that time, so I'm just gonna have to wait here and do a little jump up, and then enter the Pelican, and then that level's over. And yeah, for some reason you can leave the Pelican before the level ends, but it doesn't really affect anything. So now we have this super fun loading screen, and then we are going to go to the second level of this game, Crow's Nest. Probably my personal favorite. Anyone who's watched my stream knows that I've had quite an obsession with this level.
Come on,
at least
sir,
when
I'll
I
show
used
you
to
the way.
really grind this game. But you'll see some cool tricks. The first 2 minutes are not that interesting, but just stay with me here and you'll see some cool tricks in the second half of this level.
Master Chief, get there.
Now we just have some small movement optimizations.
Chief?
Getting a little
Good.
boost off of the
Channel is
ceiling and
secure.
then
My fire
a little
teams are
slide
spread
jump.
We can't hold out forever.
I'm
I
gonna
need
try
that
to do a
hangar
launch
cleared for evac
here
ASAP.
off of some explosive barrels over here. Kill this guy and then throw this nade. Didn't get too much speed off of it, but it still saved time, so I'll take it. So just have to kill these enemies and get to this hangar, and now we just have some forced fighting, so you guys can go read up a donation.
We have €1.74 from Xita, and he says, well, I guess I couldn't resist. At least it's fixed again. Put this towards saving the animals, which is the wrong choice.
Alright, so how this fighting section works is you just need to kill all the enemies before these phantoms leave. There's like a specific point where the next phantom, I guess, spawns. I'm gonna kill these enemies, but it doesn't really matter how fast you kill them until they leave past a certain point in that hangar, so my fighting is a bit slow, like right there. It doesn't really matter, it doesn't lose me any time. Just gonna have to collect some grenades here, because grenades are kind of rare, for plasma grenades that is. I just did a little launch off of the fusion coil. It's never used in the run, but I have to wait for this phantom anyway, so I might as well do it for, I guess, style points or something. These enemies, and then eliminate now. It's a little early, so I'm gonna have to kill the jackal, but now we're just gonna leave the hangar, and most of the boring parts of this level are now done. I'm gonna try to do a Hiipfire patented cone launch in this hallway. If I miss it, I will lose no time, and if I hit it, I'll save like half a second. I didn't really get it, but there's a lot of tricks like that where you can just kind of attempt them, and if you miss them, then you don't really lose time. But like what I tried to do in Sierra 117, I just tried to throw a nade behind that traffic cone, and if it hits you the right way, you go flying.
All available combat teams respond.
So now comes the drone or the bugger fight. It's very fun because it's a lot of enemies, and that means there's a lot of RNG in this fight. In theory, the Marines should kill most of these drones here, but if I'm unlucky, they will not because they're terrible, because the AI in this game is, well, they're really bad. So let's just hope that I can kill most of them here. Well, the Marines aren't killing him, so I'm going to have to kill them myself over here, and that should be it. Okay. That's good. That's actually a relatively smooth fight. There's been times where the drone would just get like stuck behind like some random debris, and you wouldn't be able to find him for like a full minute, so that was relatively smooth. I don't have to listen to the conversation that Sergeant Johnson and I don't know what the other person is about some bomb. Story's unimportant. I just want to kill things. So I'm going to kill this chieftain here. And we get the gravity hammer. Now, the gravity hammer is probably one of the more important weapons in the runs for this game, because of it makes object launching really easy. I'm going to throw a little nade on the ground, put this grate up to the wall, and then we're going to line it up a little bit. We're going to just launch all the way down this little hallway. This is one of the major tricks in this game, hammer launching. We're going to do a launch over this big lake looking thing, I guess, all the way over here. Good old barrack skip, as people like to call it. It skips this really boring walking section where you just go through, barracks with a bunch of brutes in them. And because it's on easy, it's very boring. It's just walking past enemies, and as you can see, the Arbiter over there, that marker, is still walking through it while I'm going up here into the next fighting section. So here, the brutes spawn in waves. When you kill the first two brutes, the brutes up top will spawn, and you can ride the Pelican up to their spawn point, so you can kill them basically as they spawn. And if you kill 3 more, the brutes over here will spawn. Oh, I didn't kill one. Alright. And then they spawn. And then we just want to clear them all out. There's a couple more brutes outside of this room that I haven't killed yet, but outside of that, it should be all of them. Actually, I didn't kill 2 of them. This fight could be iffy at times. Okay, there we go. Well, good enough, I guess. Just like with the drone fight, there's a lot of nooks and crannies that those brutes can get stuck in, so I'm relatively happy about that.
Go! I'll cover you.
Now just some more fun walking, some slide jumps. And another one. And we have a Cortana moment here. I'm just going to throw a little nade here to give myself a little boost into this Cortana moment. Because you can always use as much distance. Like you always want to try and get as much speed going into the Cortana moment, and just just try to make as much distance as possible. Because I mean, you're going to basically have to wait anyway. So just try to make do with what you can, I guess. So we're backtracking here to the, I guess, starting room, or now the bomb room. I'm going to try to do a launch here as well off of this ammo case. It's kind of hard to get all the way to the bomb because there's a lot of these beams at the side of the wall can block you, and the ammo case or the weapon case is on a really bad angle. So, I mean, that launch is fine. it could have been a lot worse. You can also go too fast and slam into the wall and die. So luckily that didn't happen. That will probably happen sometime in the future, but I don't know when that's gonna happen.
There will
So
be
this
a
is
great
one of
deal
those
of hardship on the road
spots where you
ahead.
can really get a lot of speed. Like I just went down like half of this hallway with just one plasma grenade and a hammer swing. So that's a good example of boosting through Cortana moment. So here's a fun trick called butterflying. I basically mash between like reload and melee like constantly, and it makes me stick towards that drone because I'm just, you know, lunging constantly towards them, and because those drones fly a little bit faster than I can walk, it saves a little bit of time.
You will become the best we can
More
make you.
Cortana moments. That's a good boost. I'm gonna adjust the angle of this box a little bit, and then we are gonna launch off of it, and then we're gonna walk into this elevator, and then that's Crow's Nest. Now we're just gonna sit here for 20 seconds about how, like, they're gonna show, you know, oh, the entire building is blowing
This
up and
place
stuff,
will become your
and
home.
this Cortana moment, and nothing really else to do, so I'm gonna look at the fire, some loud noises, something about the story, probably not anything I'm particularly interested in though.
This place will become your tomb.
Alright, so technically you can skip these carnage reports at the end of levels if you play without the in-game timer, but the timing of this game is using theater films, so like stuff that's in between levels, like loading screens, don't get counted anyway in the timing, so I just like to use the in-game timer so I can just kind of have an indication of how good my run is doing.
Chief, please respond.
I mean, I know we technically have timers and splits for that, but I don't know. I started running this game for individual level runs, so I still just like having the timer there. And it's nice for you know, obviously if you get a accidental individual level world record in a run or something. So, all right, so this is Savo Highway. This is an extremely hard level, as evidenced by the fact that I'm driving with one hand. It's yeah, it's not very difficult. There's just a small little trick in the middle, but outside of that, there's nothing really much to it. Just the just, you know, taking the right route and not getting your Warthog flipped. It's one thing that's really fun in this game, Warthog physics or just vehicle physics in general. You can just, you'll just flip consistently, or not consistently, constantly. If you're not, I guess if you're a little careless, but it's not as bad as with the chopper, which is probably the worst vehicle in this game, but I'm going to be forced to use it a couple times through this run, so
Still can't get the commander.
you might hear me
Comms on.
cursing out the chopper at
Pelicans
some
are
point during
scattered.
this run.
Best thing now, get some distance between us and the base. Brutes are going to be looking for
Driving.
survivors.
You should be happy that I'm not running this game on Legendary, because this section right here is absolute hell on Legendary, because for some reason the developers decided to put like 10 times the enemies that are in this section on Legendary. But yeah, luckily I'm playing on easy, so I don't have to suffer through that section. I'm actually drive with two hands now. Just gonna quickly pick up this gravity lift here through the wall, and then we're gonna, oh, almost flipped there, but I managed to save it. I'm gonna destroy this little barrier here. Just throw a nade at it, or the nade will not kill it. That's nice. And then what the game wants you to do here, after you go down this hill, is you see that the highway is like half destroyed, and the point is that the developers want you to traverse the rest of the level on foot. But what you can actually do is you can use that gravity lift I picked up a little bit earlier,
Say again,
and you can
Recon?
just
You're breaking up.
jump that
Something in
gap.
the crater, ma'am.
You
Something
can technically
beneath
do
the
it
star.
without the gravity lift if you're really good and, you know, squeeze through that small gap between the concrete barriers, but I preferably wouldn't risk it. So
Master
yeah.
Chief?
So we just jump that gap, and now we can just
Truth
you
is
know, finish
excavated
the level
in Forerunner
in this
artifact.
Warthog.
We have to
But it's
assume it's
gonna be a
gone.
little long, so let's get in a donation first.
Well, it's actually not a donation. I quickly wanted to point out that we still haven't met 4 of the musical levels of Rayman Legends, and also that saving the animals is only ahead by 36 cents. Come on, guys, we can kill those animals.
Okay, so that was one of the fun parts in this game where you can die on easy. If those choppers hit your Warthog head on, your Warthog will just explode and you get insta-killed. And they tend to always take that, like, the inside of that turn, which is obviously the turn you want to take, you know, in a speedrun. So you just have to hope you can dodge them, but since they have a boost and you don't, they can sometimes kill you. I was also not really paying attention, so maybe it was mostly my fault, but whatever. So, is the end of Savo Highway. The trigger to end the level is to kill this turret over here and to destroy the barrier over here. Hopefully my nade actually kills the barrier this time. I threw that nade incredibly short. I'm just gonna have to melee it instead. And then that's Savo Highway. Skip that cutscene. Mash out of that carnage report. No real reason to, but might as well. And we're going into the 4th level of this game, the Storm. This is a very, well, I'd say it's a relatively unique level. Well, not that unique, but it has some, I guess, some cool firefighting. It starts you off on this Warthog though, and I can't leave it yet, so I'm just gonna have to wait here.
Our only chance of stopping it is a surprise aerial
Line
assault.
up my
Clear this sector
crosshair
of Covenant
with
anti-air
something. There's
defense.
also a tire there
Make a
for
hole for
no
the
good
Admiral's
reason.
ships.
So I'm
Good
gonna
hunting.
line up my
He's out.
crosshair with top of this railing here. Actually, no, it should go a little bit lower than that. There we go. And then I'm gonna hold down fire, and this kills that Marine, so I can go into this Warthog, steal it, and get to this door a little bit faster. So, I mean, it's a little bit mean to kill one of your friends, but it's for the speed. It saves like a second and a half maybe. So this section's on a timer. I can't really speed this up because I have to wait for the game to load the next section. And I'm just gonna set up this ghost here in front of the doorway, and then I can't open this door until, as I said, the section loads, which is right now. There it is. I'm gonna try to
Kilo 2-3, this is
quickly,
forward
just
under
try
dawn.
to wedge the wing
I need a sit rep,
of the
Commander.
ghost in a little bit early.
Atmospheric disturbance is
Trying to kill some of these
intensifying above
enemies
the artifact,
because the
Sierra
door to
117.
exit this level only
Moving
opens
as
if a
fast as you
specific
can,
amount of
sir.
enemies
I
are
know we'll
dead,
get it done.
and Marines, as I said before, are horrible at killing enemies, so I don't want to rely on them. And also have to kill this little anti-air wraith here, and I have to kill 2 ghosts. There's the other one. There's technically 3 of them, but actually I don't think that killed them.
Target
Nope.
destroyed.
Okay, I'm gonna have to shoot him with a battle
To the
rifle.
next area.
If that
Over.
works. That, yep, my aim is terrible, so let's just hijack it. Okay, that's good. See that it loaded, so the door has opened. Go. And then we're gonna jump up here and hit the button for the door like that. I'm supposed to walk around and hit the button from the top, but instead I just do that because the button's like right there where the Marines are standing. This rocket launcher while the door is opening. And then we're gonna hit this Cortana moment. So as I said before, it slows down your movement, but they
I
didn't
have
really
defied
foresee you
God's
using the boost of the
speed.
ghost during the Cortana moment, so you can essentially go full speed during this Cortana moment. So now we have the second little fighting area, I
We got
guess.
anti-air raids in the next lake bed, Chief.
Over here. Woo! We're gonna kill this AA raid. So how this works is we have to kill 2 waves of phantoms, or well, stuff that the phantoms drop. But the next wave won't spawn until after the phantoms leave, and killing the phantoms basically is the same thing according to the game as them leaving the area. So it's really nice if I can get the phantom here. You can technically kill both phantoms like that, but I'm gonna kill one of them because it's the only one that's easy. Oh, that's also something that's really fun. There's like a bunch of enemies fighting while you're doing this, so there's a decent chance that I might just get randomly splattered while trying to kill these phantoms. And there's also something else that might potentially kill me, which is phantom debris. I'm just gonna hope that the phantom debris doesn't kill me, but like when these phantoms die, like they just, you know, they fall apart into a million pieces, and if you kill them at a very late point in, I guess, like their leaving thing, you can actually die to it, or die to them. I'm gonna hope that doesn't happen. God, that doesn't happen. Hopefully he dies right now, so I don't have to deal with it. Okay, that's good. So now, we're gonna go get this ghost. Probably actually kill this other grunt as well that's in this ghost. He doesn't just try to battle me. There we go. Put our ghost down in a convenient spot right here.
Stand by.
And now we're waiting on a scarab to show up. I guess you can kind of call it like a boss fight, I guess. I mean, the Halo games haven't really been that good with boss fights, but this could kind of be a boss fight. It's a big crab-looking thing, and what the game wants you to do is it wants you to shoot it in its like glowing weak spots on its legs, but well, yeah, you cripple it and then you go inside and kill its heart. But technically, you can always just enter it because the heart's always vulnerable, like it's always there. So I can just do this little jump up like this with the gravity lift, just land on top of it really smooth like, and then kill these enemies. Wait for its little entering animation to end. I shot a little bit early. I shot twice really early. And then we can just kill it like that without having to deal with anything. I was actually really scared here for a second. As you can see right there, those Marines are really reckless with their rocket launchers. And there's a decent chance that when you're leaving the Scarab, you can just get nailed by a rocket from a friendly Marine. That
Well
didn't
done,
happen,
Chief.
but
I'm sending in a few
it
pellets.
was definitely in the back of my mind. I was definitely expecting it to happen, but it didn't, so that's good.
One more target,
Now,
Chief.
Cortana moments. I'm actually low on
Cover
rockets,
AA
so I'm not
gun
gonna
next year.
Your shield.
Take it down and Lord Hook can start his attack
use
run.
it to go through this Cortana moment here. Now we just have some more walking. Some good old walking. You know, it's always nice, you know, when you have some cool tricks, you know, just relax for a little bit. I'm gonna try to do a deployable cover launch here. It's probably gonna miss. But yeah, that's fine. If you get stuck in a deployable cover like that, if you slowly walk out of it, there's a chance that the game will just eject you with a lot of speed. I didn't hit it. It's a little bit more consistent on the Xbox One version of this game, but I'm not running on the Xbox One version, so whatever. And I mean, it's not really used that much in actual like single segment runs anyway. It's more used in individual level runs where you can like use the speed to clip through walls and stuff. So I'm killing this this brute here for his invulnerability, which allows me to do this little boost. It has this section has a really low ceiling, so I didn't really get much of a boost out of it, which kind of sucks. But I need to get a second shot with this player actually. Yeah. So now we're gonna get to the ending of this level, which is killing this anti-air turret here, or anti-air cannon, I guess. And you can kill it with 2 fully charged plasma pistol shots. So if I just line it up properly
Chief,
from here,
those ships are closing
that
fast.
should be it.
Destroy that
A
gun.
little
We're
high.
out of
We're gonna have
time.
to wait another cycle. That's too bad. Like that should be good. Or you shoot too early. Alright, well, that's good. Let's try that one more time, or else I'm gonna have to do a walk of shame. Okay, there we go. Shouldn't have taken 3 tries, but whatever. And then that and then that ends the level. So now we have the 5th level, Floodgate. Relatively short level actually in this game compared to all the other ones, and there's a lot of hammer launching in it. I'm probably not gonna hit all of them, but you know, we'll see. Maybe I go into God mode and hit all of them. You know, unleash my inner alien
The
flow or
flood.
something.
It's
But
spreading all over the city.
yeah, there's a lot of box launching here.
Find the crashed flood ship.
you can see that I just got a checkpoint. That's a very rare occurrence in this level, so I'm also going to hope that I don't die, because there's a very big chance that that will be the only checkpoint I get throughout this entire level, so let's just hope that works out. Just throw a nade here to get this box a little bit further into the level, and shoot it to change its angle a little bit. Sadly hit some debris, that's too bad. It's kind of a tricky launch to get because you have to like set it up on the go, and it's not very easy to set it up on the go. So, oh well, not too bothered by missing that. Throw a spike grenade here to adjust the angle of this weapon case. Oh, I got actually a lot of height. If you go a little bit lower, you can just like bounce off of this and go straight into this section of the level. And then we're gonna shoot this box. Adjust this angle a little bit. Maybe a little bit too much there. That should be okay. We're just gonna go here. I tried to get some more height in that jump or that launch by jumping, but it didn't work out. So we're gonna do a Cortana moment skip here, similar to the one I attempted to do in Cortana or in Sierra 17, the first level, where you use these two boxes to basically never touch the floor of that room, because if you touch it, you trigger the Cortana moment. Small little launch there. But yeah, you have to throw that nade to move the box a little bit closer to the doorway, because if you don't, like, the trigger's actually a lot higher than it should be, because it's like, basically if you even barely walk off of those boxes, you hit it. So you need to get that box as close as you can, to that door, or else you're screwed. I'm just gonna do a little slide jump here. So, I'm not actually gonna do that launch. If you throw a spike grenade at these boxes, they will like disassemble into smaller boxes, but and you can launch off of those. But this is kind of an iffy launch. There's a lot of different things in your way that you can slam into and die. And I don't know when my last checkpoint was, so I'm not gonna risk it. I can do this one though. So that was actually a pretty decent launch. Just like I said before, there's a lot of just crap everywhere in your way. And the blood moved away my box, so I can't really jump up this way, so I'm just gonna have to do the intended route, walk all along the side here. Do a launch here. Alright. In an IL run, you would be doing a launch over there to jump this massive gap, but as I said before, if you miss that, I might just go back to the start of the level, so I'm not going to risk it. I'm just gonna, use the old walking strat. Just play it safe.
I shall remain here.
Into this hole.
Let nothing pass.
Here. Slide, hit this brave mine moment. I'm just gonna have to try get a little bit of distance.
Do not be
with this gravity hammer here. It's a little iffy though. It's just a very tight hallway with a lot of things to block you. So the sometimes kind of random, I guess, momentum or the random trajectory that the gravity hammer gives you can sometimes mess you up. I think that sentence made sense. I'm sorry if it didn't. So we're gonna do a slide jump here at the end of this level to make our way to the ending trigger of this level. I got a lot of distance there actually. That's a lot more than I expected to get.
Everlasting.
And now I'm hammering away. But this is the ending here. You just hold B to this and then the level ends. That was an okay floodgate. It was a little messy, but that's okay. I mean, basically everyone's floodgates are messy unless you're like a literal god. So now this is the ending of, well, the first half of this game. We're now going into the second half of the game where there's a lot of fighting sections. The levels are really long, and well, yeah, this is the start of it. This is the arc. There's a lot of opportunities for me to die in really stupid ways, so I bet you'll love it. And it's like 10, 11 minutes long, so it's a lot longer.
Go, go, go!
We're starting off with just some walking here. If we would be playing on co-op, we actually spawning from that pelican over there. Hopefully he'd get this jump. Yep. It's kind of these jumps can be kind of annoying. And then we're gonna slide jump off of this rock,
Eyes on.
and then we're gonna kill these two brutes over here because one of them might drop a convenient drop. Yep, a flare. I described before a trick where you would get an equipment and then jump off of it in mid-air to get a double jump. I'm gonna use that here. It's not really a skip here, just, you know, saving a little bit of time by just doing this little nade jump and jumping off of the flare. You can technically make it without that equipment jump, but just to play it safe, I'm gonna do the equipment jump, and that just saves like 10 seconds because you just have to walk all the way around, just a normal way up a slope, and it takes a little bit. Slide jumping, just improvement optimization, you know. Little jump here. If I don't suck, I'll get a slide jump off of this rock. That was okay. We'll get this rocket launcher, and then we go into this mongoose. There's a very big chance of my mongoose flipping randomly over in this little jump here, and also just anywhere. Let's see if we don't flip. Yeah, okay, I think that wasted enough time for me to not make this ghost, though. Well, actually, I barely made it. He decided to just stand still for a little bit. Yep, okay, did not go full speed, so I didn't, oh, okay. They're trying to kill me, but I just barely survived, I guess. I guess I can use this to really quickly talk about version differences in this game, because there's a re-release of this game on the Xbox One, and getting to that ghost is one of those differences, because while DC launches are also easier on Xbox One, the enemies also spawn earlier. It's kind of an odd difference, but it's because the game runs in 60 FPS and this one runs in 30 FPS. Anyway, I just drove over that little rock formation, which skips a trigger, which deloads a bunch of enemies earlier on in the level, or that spawned earlier on. So those will stay spawned until later, which is important for a trick. And now we're just gonna, you know, just kill some enemies and then wait for some stuff. So you guys can go and read up about it.
We got a 10-euro donation from Boxmeister. He says, "Stop hurting those poor innocent boxes. I'll donate to save the animals as compensation."
Alright. Just have to kill the rest of the enemies here. You have to basically kill all of them except for one grunt that's in like a little sentry nest. So this A right here shooting its little weak spot in the back. I'm gonna have to check if none of the brutes left them. No, there it is. Sometimes the brutes, the turret brute survives for no good reason. Actually, both of them survived, I think. That's great. I'm going to kill this grunt. It's trying to dodge me. There we go. And now, the best trick of the game. You look up in the sky, and it makes the forward onto dawn show up a little bit faster.
Beginning my descent.
I find it kind of funny. We had a lot of different ideas of like what, you know, caused the forward onto dawn to show up earlier. Maybe it was just standing in a specific spot, but it's, after looking at the triggers, it just look in the sky and it works. So the forward onto dawn is this big ass ship, and it blows everything away. But if you boost into that little rock, that corner there, you don't get blown away, as the Wrecking Benjamin would say. Now we just go to the next section. As you can see, the Xbox is having a little bit of a problem maintaining a stable frames per second here. And it's because, you know, as I said before, there's still a lot of enemies alive from earlier on in the level. So if I get lucky and don't get owned by like this ghost or this grunt, then see. Ah, that's too bad. Sometimes because there's so many things loaded, the game will just like not properly load like this wraith, or yeah, it will just like not load this wraith, and it'll be a bunch of enemies you don't have to fight. But it's kind of inconsistent. So those wraiths decided to conveniently set up close to each other. Hijack this. and then use this to kill all the rest of the enemies. So if I did get the deload, I would basically already be by the end of this section, but on the top of this little bridge here, with like no enemies to kill really. You only have to kill the enemies that the Phantom dropped, or well, you actually kill the Phantom with that fuel rod gun that I picked up. That fuel rod gun actually that I did not pick up, I just realized I completely forgot, so this would have been really awkward if I didn't get, or if I did get the deload, so. I wouldn't say it's a blessing that I didn't get it, but yeah. That's everything. Hopefully I don't leave the Wraith and then fall off. That's also nice. I'm just gonna have to walk it, I guess. But that's fine, because the door, because I'm waiting on that door over there to open anyway, and it takes like 30 seconds regardless of what I do, so it's fine that I fell down. I'll only lose like a couple seconds really.
Come to the upper doorway. The others can take the
I'm gonna get into this chopper here, and then I'm gonna enter into the second half level. So this is the chopper. I pointed out to you that this vehicle is terrible. Oh wait, I have to kill the shade turret. So I guess I'm still gonna have to wait, but this is the chopper here. Looks kind of neat, but it's a really bad vehicle. It is exceptionally bad at taking turns and exceptionally bad at just being a vehicle that you can stay in. So I'm gonna take some precautions. I'm gonna take turns really relatively wide and slowly to make sure I don't flip. So we just have to wait for our buddy Guilty Spark to open the door for us. There he is. Just wait a little bit. I mean, you're not supposed to walk through this little building like this anyway, but it's a little bit faster, I guess. You have to draw that bridge for reasons. I'm gonna take this turn very slowly. It actually somehow overshot the turn. It's kind of amazing.
Make your way down to the car
again, and then very slowly fall down here because the fall timer might bug out and kill me. I'll explain what the fall timer is at a later point when it's more relevant, but I'm going to try to do a trick similar to the one I did on Storm, where I use a gravity lift to get on top of the Scarab. This time though, it's a little bit trickier because unlike before where I was waiting on the Scarab to show up, this time I might actually have to race to make it. Okay, well I went quite fast, so I made it in time. So I'm going to grab a lift over here, and then pass me on the radar, jump, and I get hit by the leg. That's too bad. If I nailed that, I would have just been, on top of the Scarab, and it would have been like in Storm where I just get to shoot the heart normally. The backup strat is to just, I don't get shot and flipped. I almost flipped there, as you can see. I'm going to try to boost on top of the Scarab here. It's very close, so it should be fine. Like that. Actually, amazingly enough, the Marines actually shot at the Scarab and actually crippled it. That has actually never happened before, that the Marines actually successfully, I guess, incapacitated the Scarab. So I guess I'll give them props for it, but I might get to them, so never mind. Wait here. Stand here for loading trigger. Okay, well that's two times. You're supposed to stand there to let the level, I guess, load a little bit faster, but it can be a little annoying when you're not in a chopper right next to it, so I guess it didn't work. Oh well. Now we're just gonna have to kill enemies up here. Kill at least 3 of these carbine jackals. That's 3. And then we're gonna kill the brutes that are up here, because they might have a equipment that is very important for a trick. And if I don't get it, well, that'll be unfortunate, I guess. He didn't have it either. Alright, well, we have some more chances later on. Now we just have to wait on this Pelican to show up. If that loading trigger did work, or I guess did trigger, this Pelican would already be here, but now we just have to wait a little bit, but that's fine. I should slowly approach. Alright, so it's gonna drop the Arbiter this alien-looking, actually you can't see him, alien-looking guy, and then 2 Marines, and I'm gonna shoot one of them, the male one to be exact, which is that one,
Well done.
because he talks to Guilty Spark, and it's a very uninteresting conversation where Guilty Spark gets mad and lasers him in the face. It's supposed to be foreshadowing to something, but whatever. I guess I half spoiled the last level, but don't worry about it. The story isn't that interesting unless you're one of those like Halo fans who has read like all like 10 novels, but I haven't, so whatever. I'm just here for the shooting. So I mean, it's a first-person shooter, you know. You shoot people, and that's all you do, right? So those brutes didn't drop a deployable cover for me, so I'm gonna kill these brutes, and hopefully they'll drop one for me. That one didn't. Maybe this one will. Nope. Okay. This is some exceptional marathon luck here. Last brute, last chance. Nope. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to do it the ending of this level the intended way, as boring as that is. Gonna hit this little button here. Gonna jump off the I guess this
You got a
little
whole mess of
thing
hostile
here,
air
but
inbound.
the cutscene pops
Get
in
back
and saves
inside
me.
while we take them out.
Follow
I'm
the
gonna
Oracle
have to
Spark.
go down a level and go into a little fighting
I
section.
will help your sergeant clear the skies.
What the game wants you to do is you enter this room here after you go through these stairs, and there's a bunch of invisible brutes. And the idea with the deployable cover is that you can trap them inside of this room by putting the deployable cover in front of the doorway right there. And later on, after you kill a bunch of enemies, the room will deload, and it will deload all the enemies that are inside of it. So in theory, that will allow you to, well, not have to kill any of those enemies, since, you know, the room they are in is deloaded, so they're basically dead where all the game is concerned. But instead, we're just gonna have to hope that they stay inside of their room and just kind of kill themselves, I guess. So when you kill those brutes, a door opens, which lets these jackals leave. Throw in a nade, it will kill both of them. Okay, that's both of them. And now we're gonna have to kill the invisible brutes that did leave the room. I hope there's not that many. There's one, but you can't see them really. You can only really see them on their radar. See them decently. Okay, I'm gonna have to go closer to the room itself. This one here. Should be it, I hope. Okay, that is it. So that's. Now I just have to wait for enemy trigger to show up,
Stand by for
which
pickup.
is standing right over here when the pelican shows up. Right. And that is the arc. Is there a little trip line up? Which you might see in the cutscene falling down. Yep, there it is. You can do that with a lot of cutscenes, like just throw things in the air, because, I mean, the game just kind of, like, it just changes the camera angle. It doesn't actually, like, load a, you know, a pre-rendered cutscene. It's all mostly, I think it's all in-game, so there's a lot of fun things you can do with cutscenes, like getting enemies like in the cutscene where they're not supposed to be, like having like
Roger that,
deletes like
Focus.
right in
Get
front of
out
you or
of
something.
there.
So when you kill a bunch of enemies in a section, I actually missed. I'm gonna revert there. When you kill a specific number of grunts, the number escapes me right now.
Roger
But
that,
the
Hocus.
enemies in the
Get out of
this
there.
section over here by the pelican spawn, and they conveniently line up for you. So do that, then you will kill most of the enemies in the second half of this fighting section. There's a lot of annoying enemies in that little group you just snipe there with the laser. Like this chieftain, a brute chieftain that is just complete hell to fight, so it's very convenient. I have to kill this A race as well, because I was bad and missed my laser a second ago. that's it, I think,
Beachhead
unless, yeah.
secure, Commander. Hostile anti-air has been
I
neutralized.
technically lost time reverting that
Hold position,
checkpoint,
I'm on
but
my
I
way.
kind of just wanted to show it off because it's
Begin
kind of cool
diversionary
because
bombardment.
like all these enemies just got shot and killed
I
in
will
one
beat the
laser.
Prophet's shield
And
like
that
a
power
drum.
drain can be kind of
By
important.
the time
later
the
on.
barrier falls, he will beg for mercy.
Get into this warthog here. Contrary to popular belief, the mongoose isn't actually faster in this section for two reasons. First of all, the warthog is really fast downhill, and also because the mongoose doesn't stick around when you're on your backtracking out of this section. Something that's kind of weird about this level is that you can actually skip that starting fighting section just by walking your way up this hill. It's something I've done in my legendary runs in this game,
Third tower in
because
sight.
Good.
you know,
The
if you're
Arbiter
bad
and
at
the
this
Elites
game,
touched
you
down
know,
at number 2.
you'd like to fight as least amount of enemies as possible, so you just skip and just walk it. But on easy, it's faster. Well, I mean, on legendary, it's technically also faster, but it's just, I don't know, it's one of the weird things about this level, I guess. We're just gonna have to drive straight into this building here. The Warthog, no care in the world. Not really gonna bother much with those enemies. Just want to make it to this elevator as fast as possible. So we're gonna do a jump here. There. Pretty smooth, I'd say. And then we
Chief,
do another grenade
got to
jump
offline
up
that tower.
on top of this. I'm not sure why this is solid, but it just is, so I'm not gonna question it. Power drain over here.
Get inside that
Enemies.
tower. Take it
That
down.
should be most of them, but Brute Chief has sadly turned on his invulnerability, so I have to backsmack it.
Chief,
That's
find the
something
tower
that a lot of
controls and shut it down.
custom game players might be familiar with, is being able to just
Good work,
backsmack
Chief.
anything
That's
and it
one.
insta-kills
The
them.
Arbiter should be
I'm not
just
really sure
about-
why that's the
That's
case. I
two.
should pick up
It's all up to
the
Johnson's team now.
laser. There we go.
Get back outside, Chief. Wait for
But yeah,
transport.
you can kill invulnerable enemies by just hitting them in the back.
Johnson, come in. Over.
I don't know why, but it just is.
For reinforcements,
Now I just
man.
want to wait.
Men down.
These elevators go all the way
I'm on
down.
my way.
Gonna stand on top of here for no good reason,
Everyone fall
really.
back.
Sergeant Major.
Alright,
Johnson, can you hear me?
walking. Gonna laser this guy because he looked at me funny.
You need to link up with the Arbiter and proceed
And then we're
directly
gonna
to
go
the
here.
third
We're gonna
tower.
go into our
Make your way back
warthog
to the
here.
beach.
If you had, as I said before, if you had the if you had the mongoose, it wouldn't have been there. So you would have to walk here and get to the mongoose over here. But the warthog, you can just go straight out, driving right from the exit there. Just drive all the way around here. Yeah. Look around. Look at the beautiful scenery we have here. There's some trees. There's some mountains. Great. Just now go downhill here. I have to actually slow down a little bit right here to avoid flipping my warthog. Because you're actually going, you can't really see it, but I'm going relatively fast actually here. So watch out for that tree. Okay, that's good. We're going to take the Hornet that's actually furthest away from me here, because the Marine actually immediately leaves that Hornet, so it's a little bit faster because the other one takes a little bit longer. So here's some extremely technical flying. Just like in Savo, I could just, there's nothing really to do here, so I just, you know, do it with one hand. You don't have to go to the second tower unless you want to collect a skull, but skulls aren't important for a run, so whatever. Alright. And here's the third tower. We have to deactivate this one as well because Sergeant Johnson got himself captured again. So
Chief,
I have to do his
clear an
job for
LZ,
him.
Then get inside the
I have
tower.
to kill these brutes here and get a brute shot. At least hopefully they dropped one. They did. So I'm gonna pick that up. That's not what I want to pick. That's no game. Let me pick up what I want to pick up. There we go. That's something that's really fun in this game and is probably familiar, or you're probably familiar with if you've played console FPSs. That drone ruined my momentum. So I'm gonna have to do that jump again. I did an equipment jump there, but with a deployable cover instead of a flare. It's the same principle, but just a different equipment there. But yeah, you're probably familiar with that because this is one of those games where picking up weapons and reloading and a bunch of different actions are on the same B button. And you can't really specify what weapon you want to pick up, so you just like mash B and hope it works out. Similar to the section before, we just have to kill all the enemies here and then we can deactivate the tower. This time it's invisible brutes though, so yeah, he's there. That's the last guy. Nope, that's not the last guy. There's one right here.
Hit the switch,
There we go.
Chief, and the barrier will fall.
That's the second tower. Now we are gonna once again go down the elevator again and go into the last, well actually not last, but the third chapter, I guess, of this
Shipmaster,
level,
what's your status?
which has a lot of driving in it.
Weapons system disabled.
So that's gonna be
Move
great.
to a safe distance. Stay away from the
If
flood.
I'm lucky,
Why would the
the
parasite come here?
box won't be tipped over. Okay, well it isn't. This is actually, you can just, this is angled actually quite conveniently, but I missed it to like get to this door. I guess I don't know, messed up the launch a little bit, but that's okay. Here, have all of this. Do a little nade jump. If I didn't hit it, that's fine. I'm sorry, Kyle, I missed it, but if you get that nade jump, you can just kind of cut off the corner here, since you don't have, since you can just like walk straight over the wall
I
and
need
get to this warthog a little bit faster.
Flood's
Now we
just
have
going to put
some
pressure on him.
driving.
Plans. Punch through the cliffs. Get inside that citadel.
This driving section might have a lovely display of warthog physics, because I'm gonna have to do a just a normal jump with the warthog, and I'm already kind of concerned about dying because of it, but we'll see what happens.
Citadel inside.
Ghost here. Let's just
Troops are mobilizing
Around
everything
that.
they've got.
and I'm gonna have to do a jump all the way over this gap. Relatively smooth landing. It could have been worse. That flip actually launched me a little bit. That's actually something you can do in this game, is flip launching, where you just use just the Warthog's flip. That's great physics to like launch yourself. It isn't used in the run because it's incredibly inconsistent, but I don't know. It can happen. Now we're just gonna drive up to the Hornets here. Right there. And we are doing another fight with Scarabs, though unlike before, I'm actually going to be killing at least one of them the more intended way by shooting the glowing weak spot. But because I'm in a Hornet instead of in a missile pod, I can actually shoot the back of this and just expose the heart like that. Destroy it. Eventually. My rockets, the rockets can be really bad. Like they can have some bad pathing. So they decided to just hit the walls of the Scarab for some reason. That's fine. And then we're gonna go into this one. And we're gonna do like what we did in Storm. Just go into it and then kill the back like that. And oh, that's good. So it's really convenient to get this Warthog for a trick that I do in like half a minute, but because Marines are stupid, they can get their Warthog killed under this Warthog, or this Warthog can get killed under the Scarab, but if you save it, you know, just in time, you can keep it into the Citadel. I'm gonna try to kill the Arbiter here because his dialogue is uninteresting and boring. So if he stops moving, that should be good. Maybe? No? Okay. Oh, no, it did work. Okay, that's good. So he doesn't do any of his dialogue. So there's an invisible barrier here preventing you from getting the Warthog inside of the Citadel, this little room in this building here. But if you leave the Warthog before you hit that barrier, the Warthog will just slide through the barrier into the Citadel, because the barrier only works for when you're inside of the Warthog. So it allows you to drive inside and skip a little bit of or save a little bit of time. So now, when this little flashing thing is gone, I'm gonna set up this box in a favorable angle to go down this little Citadel bridge section. That's not a favorable angle, and now I'm dead. This let's try that again. Setups aren't really consistent in this game. Stuff can kind of vary a little bit. So you don't really have a proper lineup of things. Oh well. It's not a perfect launch. In a perfect world, I would have launched all the way over this building into the, I guess, second bridge here, but I missed it, but that's fine. I could still just walk it. That launch can be kind of risky at times, because if you get too good of a launch, you'll actually skip some important triggers that will... It won't soft lock the level. No, actually, no. Yes, it will soft lock the level. Don't listen to this runner. He's lying. Yeah, it will soft lock the level so you can't progress, but... I don't know, because I got a relatively weak launch. I guess it helped. It saved the run, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? So we're just gonna hit this button over here, and then we have the second part of this last chapter of this level.
I can barely keep hold of it,
So
Chief.
we just
No way I can pick
do
you
some
up.
good old backtracking. You know,
Head
why
back
not?
to the left. Find a way down.
So it's important that I get that hammer from the brute chieftain, because it has a lot more energy than my hammer had, and that will be important in the next level, where in this game there are weapon carryovers technically. So like, you know, you keep your level or your weapons from the last level, but most of the time they're not really relevant to the run, or like you purposely skip them to get more ammo, which I will do later on in this game. You know, it's important this time because I'm gonna do a skip in the next level.
But I
Just want to clarify that real quick. I mean, I just did some box launches. You know how that works. I'm just gonna have to do some more walking, get to the end of this level. Get rid of some enemies. That was actually not a good idea. I probably should have kept those grenades, but whatever. Prevent using my gravity hammer. And I'm gonna go down this little hole. Probably just because, you know, it's glowing, so it's probably where I should go. And then we wait for this cutscene to end. Eventually, there we go. Smash a little bit through this carnage report. And then go into this loading screen. So now we are entering Cortana. If you played this game casually, you probably hate this level. If you speedrun this game, you probably hate it. And if you're Chapified, you absolutely love this level. I'm kind of torn. It has some cool tricks, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I can get through this level relatively smoothly. So the trick that I was kind of hinting at the end of Covenant is this Cortana skip right here. So you enter this grave mine moment, and you want to hammer swing your way through this cutscene. And I'm not getting too much momentum, but I think I should be able to get through this hole before the cutscene ends. Yep, there we go. And then the Cortana moment will end or start while the grave mine moment is playing. And the game gets kind of confused because both of the cutscenes are playing at the same time. So it just randomly ends the Cortana moment and lets you walk at full speed, which yeah, it's very, very nice, obviously. Normally you don't start this level with a gravity hammer, so that skip is considerably harder. So it's very important that I carry over the gravity hammer to the next level, or to this level.
Of course you
Now I'm just gonna use up the rest of my Great Mind ammo, or gravity hammer energy to get some distance during this little cutscene here. Alright, I got a little lost there.
Collection of lies. That's
And,
all I am.
You might have
Stolen
noticed why
thoughts
people
and
dislike this
memories.
level a lot. It's because of all these cutscenes, or these Cortana moments. Like, you just have to wait through all of these. Some of them are skippable, but only really the first one is the only one that you can really skip in a single segment run. You can skip the second one as well by doing a deployable cover launch during it, and then getting like an amazing launch to get all the way through the hallway and then trigger the one that we just saw. But it's not very realistic. And there's also one you can do only in a co-op run of this game, which obviously I won't be doing because, you know, I don't see a co-op runner with me here. So just on my lonesome, so we're just gonna have to not do that. Do that one. Kill that guy there, because those little popcorn flood, they can explode, and they're one of the not many enemies that if they come at you in like groups of 2 or 3, they can actually kill you. So I'm actually making sure to kill them. There's a bunch of flood here, so I'm just gonna kill them so I don't get blocked by them. And then we're gonna go to another fun Cortana moment, or Greymon moment, I guess.
Time has taught me
Do some hammer
patience.
swings to get some distance in this one as well.
You traitor. I will know all
That's
that I possess.
So we're now entering the Hell Room. It's called the Hell Room because there's a bunch of enemies that can completely ruin everything. It should be fine, but oh wait, no, that's not fine though. Wait, what am I doing? Let's do this jump properly. There we go. So for some reason they knocked this down. This is what I used to jump off of to get up there, but I'm getting shot at actually, so I need to actually go down and wait for my shields to recharge, because I can't actually jump that with no shields. So we're just gonna have to actually take this a little bit slower, I guess. That's too bad. Just take the slow route all the way around, and then we're gonna go up there, jump off my deployable cover like that instead. I didn't want to use my deployable cover there, but I guess it's fine. Go over here. I can't see where I'm walking. Okay, well, I dropped off. That's fine. There's just a small little slide jump that I could have done, but I guess we're not doing it. It's fine. I mean, it doesn't really save that much time anyway. If I have some good slide jumps during this Cortana moment, I basically get to the same spot that I would be if I did that slide jump. Yeah, I'm still in a decent spot. So, ow, I only have a spike grenade. Oh well, we're gonna do an interesting launch here. It's still a box launch, but because this box is on, like, tilted to its side, I'm gonna have to throw a nade at this corner to, that was a terrible launch, to tilt it upward so I can launch off of it. It's kind of a shame I only have a spike grenade because it's gonna give me a really high launch, so I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna be able to get it. I might not even prop it up high enough. So I might just have to walk it. If I miss it this time, I'm just gonna walk. It's also just kind of a tough launch in general, because it's not really, yeah, as you can see, I got a lot of height, and the fall timer I think is gonna kill me, yeah. So, the fall timer there, it's a mechanic in this game where if you're falling for too long or for like too far of a distance, the game will just insta-kill you. Which isn't really supposed to happen in normal gameplay, but when you're doing launches and stuff, it can sometimes happen. So, it's too bad. Alright, well, I'm okay with just walking it, I guess. I'm gonna get this global cover over here. I'm gonna try to do something similar to the start of this level, where I try to hit a Cortana moment while one is already playing. Though slide jumps are kind of bad through this hallway, so I think I'm gonna not get it. Oh, that's too bad. Guess we get to enjoy this cutscene in all its glory.
This is UNSCAI serial number
CTN 0452-9.
I am a monument.
That's the service number. Don't you ever forget it. All right, so I'm just gonna do this little stasis field thing to save Cortana.
There's 2 of us in here now, remember.
And then we do what we always do in this game. We backtrack back to the start of the level. So we hit another little Cortana moment here. I'm gonna try to do the global cover launch here. See if I can get it. I didn't get it. That's fine. Just one of those things where you don't really lose time if you miss it, since you walk so slowly anyway, and if you get the launch, you get like to this point, and whatever. So I'm gonna pick up the other deployable cover that was over there.
We need to buy some
brute shot ammo, and then we're gonna get to the switch.
Start
Hopefully I
a
don't
chain
get owned by
reaction.
any floods.
Destroy High
Because
Charity.
those floods, they can punch you and launch you all the way off of this little platform here, and then you die. It's another fun way to die in this game, but that should be fine. I'm gonna kill these reactors. Okay, I did hit that shot. Then we're gonna have to wait for the stuff to blow up, and then this door to open. Some enemies, I guess, while we're waiting. Not really important, but whatever. Alright. Kill this flood, and then we're gonna try to walk onto that. That's too bad.
We need to get
That trick doesn't really
Destroy
save
the
that much
flood
time,
once and for
but it's a really small time save where if you walk down that hole the right way, it will just, you can like set up a really good slide jump, but oh well. So you might remember when we were getting our way to the reactor, we dropped down a hole, and you'd think that there's an alternate route now for us to take, since we can't really get up that hole, but it's actually still there. So if you do a equipment jump back up this hole, you can actually skip taking the alternate route that the game wants you to do, and it's a little bit faster. The alternate route ends over there somewhere. I haven't done the intended route in a while, so I don't really know exactly where it is, but whatever, you get the idea. Now I have to professionally miss grenade throws, and then we're gonna do a small movement optimization jump here called the Shaft Fight Special. I missed it because I'm bad, but I'm gonna do this jump anyway because people would get really mad at me if I didn't. But I'm missing the jump. Okay, there we go.
corridors
That
beyond
lost me
this
like 5
point
seconds, but I
collapse.
did it because
I'm looking
I don't
right
want
at
to
a
get
friendly
berated in
Who would be crazy enough to come in
Discord
here?
or my chat next time I stream. I jumped a little too early for that jump. Oh well. And now we just have to walk our way to the end. Something really interesting here.
Wait, you two made nice?
Just emptying my weapons
What
here
else did
actually,
you do on that?
because I needed to cancel a carryover into the next level. Because this rocket, there's a rocket launcher there, like by that Pelican, and that one only has 4 rockets. But the one you start, Halo, which is the last level here, Halo, you start with 8 rockets. So, I mean, it's obviously more, or it's better if you have more rockets to do this fighting section here at the end, like that. Now we're gonna have to do some more fun walking. We're gonna ignore all the fun Easter eggs and skulls and stuff that are on this level. I'm sorry for anyone who wanted to see the naked man, but that's not happening. Yeah, it's not happening. So this level, the first half of it is basically just a fighting section. It's relatively straightforward, but well, we'll see if I maybe, I don't know, kill myself or do something stupid, but we'll see. Though to get to that fighting section is you have to get to the top of this little tower. As you can see, there's wait a minute. Good sneeze. You're you're supposed to like walk from the right side and walk up a bunch of like slopes, and it takes really long to get on top of the tower, but you can actually just jump straight up to the side here.
At the top of that tower.
Feeling another sneeze coming, but I'm gonna power through it. We're gonna line up this rocket shot here to kill Sergeant Johnson there. Killing him now, skip some dialogue later on. Now we're at the top of the tower.
Open the damn
We're gonna
door.
pick up these auto turrets, or what is it? Yeah, yeah, they are called auto turrets. And we're gonna put them over here so I don't have to deal with the right side of this tower for this fighting section. I'm just gonna kill everything that's on the left.
You didn't tell me he was here.
Rocket. Kill these spider flood with the rocket launcher, and then use it on groups of enemies if I can. Though it's kind of an iffy fight because enemies just kind of jump in whenever they feel like, so you kind of have to improvise, and I'm not good at improvising, but whatever. Gonna pick up that invincibility. That's important for optimization later. Try to stick that spider flood. He dodged it. That was actually pretty smooth of him. We're just gonna have to wait for those to walk up. The only way you can really kill them before they get here is by sticking them, because if you shoot them, they drop down, and then they waste even more of your time. So, gonna have to wait. Beautiful. Now just wait for some more flood to spawn. It's kind of annoying to kill these flood because you want to headshot them, but they don't really have a clear head, like where you want to shoot. You just want to kind of shoot like at their chest and just hope you hit. That flood is just... Wait, what? Okay, he just disappeared. That one. And then I don't get owned by spider flood. Like, look, I shot at his so-called head and it just didn't kill him at all. Slowly, speeder drifting down. This should be about it. If I don't... Yep, okay. This is going great. That spider flood's still there. Okay, hopefully that kills him. Okay, it did. That should be it. That is it, okay. So, as you can see, the door just, like, immediately opened. If I didn't kill Sergeant Johnson earlier on, he would have, like, dropped down. He would have talked for like 10 seconds and then the door would have opened, but instead we could just walk straight in, and then we see Johnson over here on the left, or no, yeah, right here. There he is. He just conveniently spawns there. We need to kill him though, because he has a laser here, which is kind of important for the quote-unquote boss fight that's coming up. I'm gonna put the gravity hammer over there so I can pick it up on my way back. This door to open. So the reason why I pick up the Spartan laser, the one from Johnson, is because well, you have this boss fight, right? You're supposed to wait for some stuff to happen. Well, it's not really a boss fight, but you have to wait for some stuff to happen. And you pick up a laser off of Johnson's body, but that one has infinite ammo, so the game recognizes it to be like 2 different Spartan lasers. So it allows you to have, well, 2 different Spartan lasers equipped. So you can just switch between them without having to wait for one like being overcharged. And yeah, this isn't really a boss fight. I mean, the old speedrun site that we used to use called High Speed Halo called this an active cutscene, because I mean, like you just, you shoot 3 laser shots at him and he's dead. What a great boss fight. Don't go to highspeedhalo.net though, it's a bad site. If you do wanna, if you are interested in Halo speedruns, go to haloruns.com, because that's a good old site. That's the actual like central place for speedrunning. There's also, I think, a speedrun.com leaderboard for co-op runs, but if you are for single player runs and also for like streams and forums, you should go to haloruns.com. I'm not gonna do the meme of did someone say Halo runs though. Now we're just gonna walk. Yeah, we just have to walk our way to the obligatory Warthog run at the end of the game, similar to Halo 1. If you ever played that at the end of the mod, you just drive your Warthog for 4 minutes while things are exploding. Well, here you also drive a Warthog for 4 minutes while everything's exploding, but there are actually skips. So I guess I'd say it's a little bit more interesting. Well, actually, the Halo 1 has skips too, so I don't want to talk crap about about Halo 1. It's a pretty good game, but this game's pretty good too. So this is what I use the invulnerability for. These popcorn flood explode and give you a little bit of boost, and because they do so much damage, you can't really realistically boost off of them with just your normal shields, so I have to actually get an invulnerability so I don't die from boosting off of them. Just keep these enemies over here. Swing my hammer to make the distance. Get into this Warthog, and then we are starting the Warthog run.
Go, go, go!
Some good old driving, Just, I mean, after such a intensive run, all you want to do is just sit back, drive this Warthog, look at the cool scenery, look at some cool explosions, watch everything just go into chaos. I don't remember why, but I mean, I don't think anyone else is interested in it. So we want to do a little jump here to just do skip the first little, I guess, drive here. That was a beautiful trick. If I didn't flip, if I had played more Tony Hawk Pro Skater, I would have been able to tell you exactly what the Warthog just did. It's like a kick flip with a salto in it. That's not the word for English, but don't worry about it. So we're driving. There's nothing really interesting in this. I mean, there are skips, but it's mostly just taking, I guess, the optimal route, avoiding crappy routes that force you into jumping, or oh yeah, there's just a lot of ramps that set you up to do a jump, but as you've seen in the earlier levels, doing a jump is bad because you can definitely flip. But I'm gonna do this specific jump here because it looks really cool. Because you go and jump up and then little explosion there. And my Warthog flips for good measure. Why not? Here, hopefully we don't get completely pounded by these flood here, because these popcorn floods can actually flip your Warthogs. But luckily, the Arbiter has decided to not shoot any of them and not flip my Warthog. So thanks for that. So these Sentinels here, they could also be kind of annoying. If they shoot you on the side, they can kind of flip your Warthog. If they shoot you in the back, though, it's actually really nice because it gives you a boost. But they kind of did neither, so I mean, that's fine. More driving.
30%.
Cortana is going to name off some random percentage numbers to show how incredibly important the situation, or how dangerous the situation we are in is. Drive over here, and if you go full speed off of this ramp here on the left, you can actually get enough speed to jump onto the side here. Just skip this entire roundabout. We are going towards the last part of this driving section. First we have another tunnel for taking the right route, taking the left one because the right one is a dead end, the middle one forces you into a jump. This left one lets you go over here, and not have to deal with any of that. Try to also go, I'm also trying to go downhill as much as possible, since that makes you go faster as well. One more jump, and over there you see the Ford of the Dawn, which is the ending trigger. Entering that ends this level. It also ends the game, so time is coming up soon as well, in about a minute. And now, more explosions. Taking the left top route is faster here, obviously because it makes you take the inner part of the turn, and it also allows you to go downhill for the second part of the path. So that's good. That's about it. Driving up here, hopefully not going to get owned by Sentinels. That was actually very close. The Sentinels exploding actually have very, well, they're very powerful explosions, so they can flip you as well, but what happened? Over here, with that little marker, and then one turn to the left, we hold forward, and hope that we make this jump, and then get ready on time, and time. And that's Halo 3. Alright, well that was an okay run, I guess. Could have been better, but oh well, it's fine. I think I did good enough for, well, this time of day, I guess. I'm still a little sleepy, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed, so. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Hiipfire. Next up, we'll have Kvicker doing